Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to talk something about modules. So you might have heard the concept about modular programming, and modular programming essentially means dividing programs into different chunks where each chunk is actually called as a module. Now if you take a general definition of module in programming, a module is actually a piece of code which is written by other people, or also it might be written by you. But the thing is that there are actually a bunch of Python modules available on the internet which are written by different programmers, and what a module is essentially is it is a set of code which is written by them, and you could go ahead and use that code in your program to do a particular task. Also, there are a bunch of modules which are inbuilt in Python which are developed by Python itself, which provide you with a bunch of functionality to perform different things. So in this lecture we are going to learn how to actually use modules which are actually inbuilt in Python. So we are going to take simple example of a random module, the module which is called as random, and we are going to use a function which is called as random int to actually make a virtual dice in Python. So now let's go ahead how to use modules in our program. So the very first thing which you need to do is that you actually need to import the module which you want to use. So as in this case, we want to use the random module. We type in import random. What this essentially does is that it tells Python that we actually want to use the random module in our code. So it is going to import the random module for us so that we could use the functions which are present in the random module. So once you have this, now let's go ahead and write the code to actually create a virtual dice. So essentially what we are going to do here is that we are going to print out 5 to 6 random values by using the randint function which is present in the random module. So I'm going to type in for x as a for loop. Then I'm going to type in range, and I'm going to specify the range value to be 5, as we only want 5 things here. And now let's go ahead and use the random function from the random module. So whenever you want to access any function from a module, the first thing which you do is that you type in the module name, which is random in this case. So I'm going to type in random, give a dot operator, and then as you could see there are a bunch of functions from the random module which you could use, but in this case we want a function which is called as randint, which is going to return a random integer value to us. So this function actually accepts 2 parameters, that is nothing but the range, which is going to be, let's say, 1 to 6. And as this function returns some value, as I said, we need to store that particular value. So let's say we create a new variable which is called as result. So I'm going to simply type in result over here. So I type result equals random dot randint, and I'm going to pass in 2 values here. So once I pass these 2 values to the function, it is going to return us a result. Now the only thing which we need to do is that we need to print out the result. So I simply type out print result, and we are going to get 5 to 6 random values from this for loop right here. So if I save the code and if I execute it, as you could see, we got some random values. That is, we got 5 random values because we have specified the range as 5. So you don't need to actually pay attention to the for loop or anything in this lecture, but the only thing which you need to understand is that how to use modules. So basically you use modules by importing them. So you type import and the name of the module which you want to import. Then once you have the module, then in order to access a particular function in that module, you type the module name, give a dot operator, and then type in the function name right after it. So that basically allows you to use any function in any module which you have imported. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys understood how to actually import a certain module and how to actually access any functions within that module. So thank you very much for watching this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.